Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to share with you my keto bread recipe, the one I've been using for many times, and I think the bread is one of the best keto breads that I ever tried. Welcome back to my channel. This channel is about me exploring the surroundings where I live in Singapore as well as overseas, and I talk about things that are important to me, such as bicycle as transport, food, the environment, and others. Along the way, we'll meet interesting people and have an adventure. So come along. In this video, I'm going to share this easiest keto bread recipe I've ever tried. It's one of my favorites. In fact, I make it almost every week and my family absolutely loves it. I have to admit that this is not my original recipe, like not my own, but I took it off another YouTube channel called The Keto King. I'll leave a link in the description to that video below. And but what I've done is I've actually tweaked it just a little bit because I found the original recipe a bit too wet. So I actually lowered the amount of water there, as well as increased slightly the wheat component. This is not a gluten-free recipe, so if you're allergic to gluten, well, may not be for you. Some keto bread recipes that I've tried, I didn't really like. In fact, I didn't like at all. Those that used almond flour and had a lot of eggs in it, I really couldn't stomach it at all. But this comes closest to normal bread that we're used to. So I hope you enjoy it and give it a try. So let's start with the ingredients. Some of the specialty ingredients can be got from iHerb, which is where I bought my ingredients from, and a couple of the equipment that I use, I got it off Amazon. I'll leave it all in the links below, and if you use my affiliate links, it's no extra cost to you, but I do get a small commission and it helps me out support this channel. So the first thing you do is you add 41 grams of oat fiber, 70 grams of flaxseed meal, 200 grams of Vital Wheat Gluten, 6 grams of salt, approximately 2 tablespoons of sweetener, your choice of sweetener. In my case, I use erythritol, again can be bought from iHerb, and 2.5 grams of Xanthan Gum. Now this Xanthan Gum is one of the most important ingredients. Early on, I didn't know what Xanthan Gum was, so I opted not to put Xanthan Gum in it, and my bread didn't rise at all. So with only 2.5 grams of Xanthan Gum, the results were actually outstanding. Then to that, you add 8 grams of instant yeast, which can be bought from your local supermarket or convenience store. 1 teaspoon of sugar, any sugar, either white sugar or brown sugar, or you could also use honey. Don't worry, this sugar or honey gets eaten by the yeast to produce carbon dioxide, which puffs up your bread. 30 grams of softened butter. What I do with the butter is, because I live in a tropical country, most of us keep our butter in the fridge. So I measure out 30 grams of butter and put it for 20 seconds in my microwave on medium setting just to soften it. And then you add 2 eggs lightly beaten just to incorporate it. And 200 grams of water. I know many people don't use a weighing scale to measure water, but I find it the most accurate because 200 milliliters of water is actually 200 grams. Put them all into the mixing bowl of my cake mixer and use the mixing attachment, not the dough hook, not the J hook, because you're not really kneading the dough per se, it's just incorporating the ingredients. Put it on a low setting. I find for 5 minutes is good enough. So while your mixture is mixing, just clean up whatever mess you've made. At the same time, you might want to grease your loaf tin. I'm using a Pullman loaf pan. That's a bread loaf pan with a lid on it, and this helps to make the bread square, just like store-bought bread. I've also put a link to the loaf pan that I bought on Amazon, and you can use my affiliate links below to check it out. So after 5 minutes, this is what the dough looks like. Using a dough scraper, get it out of the mixing bowl onto your counter, and then with a bench scraper, I just roll it around into a rough sausage shape that is approximately the length of the loaf pan. Then I use oat fiber to dust the outside of the dough, roll it around, and make sure you get the ends as well. After that, pop it into the loaf pan, and here you see me rolling it around. There's absolutely no need for that. You can just leave it alone, but I just do it because I guess I have OCD or something. Then after, you just leave it on your counter to let it proof for about 1 hour. Where I live, my kitchen temperature is about 28 degrees, 29 degrees with high humidity. So depending on where you are, it may take longer for your bread to rise. After approximately 50 minutes, I've checked on it, and this is what it looks like. What you're going for is the dough almost touching the lid of the pan. When you see this, close the pan, close the loaf pan, and don't open it again. And now you preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. When the 15 minutes is up, put the loaf pan into the oven and bake it for 30 minutes. While your bread is baking, let's check out a video I made on having a Keto Bak Chor Mee with my friends just a couple of days ago. So this is a Bak Chor Mee stall at Payoh. The name and address of the stall I leave in the description below. I've had this Bak Chor Mee for a few times already, and I find it's actually quite good. So this stall serves normal Bak Chor Mee as well as laksa, and they told me that they do make a keto version of laksa as well. You can opt to have your laksa or Bak Chor Mee with konjac noodles, which they sell for an extra $1. So this time I've elected to have my Bak Chor Mee with konjac noodles to try it out. This is what the Bak Chor Mee looks like. So here's the reaction of my friends to Keto Bak Chor Mee. I find this Bak Chor Mee really worth it. For $5, the bowl is humongous. Okay, there's minced pork, sliced pork, pork lard, tauge, and of course optional, the konjac noodles. For $5, with the konjac noodles, it's $6, but the bowl is huge. In fact, if you're going there for the first time, I recommend bring a friend and two of you share one bowl. They also do a soup version, which is even bigger. Now back to the bread. So after 15 minutes, you might want to turn the bread loaf upside down if you're using a Pullman loaf pan. If you're using an open top pan, of course, don't do it. This is optional because most ovens have a hotter top half than the bottom half. So I just wanted to make sure that the bread baked evenly. So after a total of 30 minutes, pull the loaf pan out using oven gloves. To get the bread out of the pan, you might have to lightly tap the loaf pan on the counter and the bread should slide out easily. And this is what it looks like. Let it cool completely for about an hour before you slice the bread. And this is how I slice my bread. Again, having a little bit of OCD, I like to have even slices. Look how soft and supple the bread is. And the taste is wonderful. So I'd like to thank my supporters on this channel. Thank you very much, Sui. I appreciate you buying me a coffee, and it really helps me out to grow this channel. And you can also buy me a coffee, links in the description below. So I hope you enjoyed this easy keto bread recipe and hope you try it out for yourself. And if the first time you try it, it doesn't really come out expected, keep trying, because you can't master everything in just one go. Just keep trying, just like I'm trying to make better videos each and every time. And if you like the content, please like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. And if you want me to keep making more keto recipe videos or food videos or cycling videos, just comment below, let's have an interaction and let me find out what it is you like about what I do or don't like about what I do. And we can all improve one video at a time. So thanks very much, and I'll see you again the next time Sonic travels.